Mr. Jake. This is Mr. Jake. Come on. Thought I could look at a few trucks. I'll look at a few trucks tonight. Kits. Because I haven't got any ready to run. Anything. Yeah, that's Mr. Spy. Come on. So you've got some different types of trucks made of different materials, and basically just different ways of producing the same thing. So we've got the Parkside, a couple of Slaters and that Slaters. That one and that one are pre-printed, and anybody that's new to Airgauge, of course, and they're just painted a bit like Airfix, as is that. They have white metal. They have brass axle guards and compensation, so they run better. The tanks can be a bit of a fiddle on them, but they come out a good model. Plastic kits are just pretty much like your Airfix bits of plastic. This is a Parkside North British open, and then we got these are resin parts like that, just, and then you put white metal axle guards or whatever you got to hand, or you can get hold of, whatever you want to use. That's a Port Winstay, so yeah, I think you can get them with the axle guards and the buffers and everything in the kit from Invertrain. I'm not sure whose make that was. I picked it up second hand at a show, but it's a one piece body and underframe and everything all in one, but they made good trucks. This is a bit of a figment of imagination from a set of those sides from that 422 from eBay. It's made a decent coach, I think, for like an engineering train, for not much cost at all, because cost is always an issue with these things. Next up we've got white metal trucks. White metal soldered together at all the joints. This is another one from Invertrain with a brass roof. They quite like making them because they're quite forgiving. The stuff's quite flexible to work with. You get, anybody that's not seen one of these before, you get comprehensive instructions, which aren't too bad at all. Try this one around here. Some info. Photo of the parts and a step by step, but they're not massively complicated. So you tend to just have buffers, axle guards, couplings, little bits, doors, brake, gear, etc. And then sides and ends. So you can, in a few minutes, you can get a box built up quite easily, ready to detail, and you can do one of those in an evening. The etched brass ones are a little bit trickier. That's the first etched brass one I ever built. The little tractor strapped onto it. They just come flat, and everything has to be folded and soldered. If you've not seen one before, which I'm sure you probably have. They often have white metal axle guards as well, but they do make kits again to get a little bit pricey sometimes. And the other thing is scratch building. So that I've scratch built that with styrene strip and then some 3D printed detail for the nuts on the ends and 3D printed tanks. That was from a drawing sort of something a little bit different. There's not a lot of information I can get on it, so there's no lettering or anything. And the same with this. That's a North British cheese van from a drawing. There, doors on one side apparently. And I printed each individual parts and built it up, a bit like a kit, but I designed the bits myself. And this is a bit of an experiment to see where that can go. I'll maybe do a video about the 3D printed stuff and what I've done and where I've gone wrong mostly. There's a little thing, if you're doing ready to run stuff, I'd say you get a kit and have a go, because they're good fun, hours of fun. That's a tank. You can see that, okay? I drew up on Fusion. That's one out of the spares box. So I could get 3 the same. I tried making some out of 22mm water pipe like you get in your hot tap copper. And they're okay, but trying to get 3 exactly the same, or as near as I could, was not easy or working out. So that's where that sort of thing comes into its own. I'll run a few extras off. Excuse me. We got the cheese van again. I drew up a side without a door and a side with a door. Both obviously have vents. Ends with vents and ends without, which is meant I can assemble the separate bits, 2 sides with doors, or one with no ends to make a yeast van. Vented ends, vented sides to make a meat van, or vented ends and a door on one side to make a cheese van. So with just a few bits I can keep running them off and make different models. And I could put styrene in there to brace that, because 3D resin printing is a little bit bendy and unstable in certain circumstances. But so I'm putting Ambis, the axle guards on that one, and I've 3D printed the axle guards for that one, just to see how long they last, how well they work, etc. So design that to take, can't see that, like a brake unit, so they just fit into the chassis. You can see it's all got the bubbles underneath from where it's been supported. So I can use a pair of them to do that, and a door brake unit, and design all these bits yourself. Oops. These are just the pull rods that go. Not doing very well at this. They just go in there. I did slightly make a mistake on the positioning of that, which I'll need to go in the file and alter for the future. This worked quite well. Nuts. They're not threaded, they're just plain blank to go on the end of these stays on the top, instead of spending money on brass ones and other little detailing parts. I like the excuse the state of my fingers. I'm a mechanic in the daytime and I get chapped up. They're just the chassis plate bits on the side, and print them off. That's a gas tank for a coach, and see if it's been supported. It also has to make sure that the naff side gets the hammer with all the support, and then the good side gets the printed. That's just been rubbed down a little bit. And they don't come out too bad. I don't know how long they'll last, but it's just another way of doing things. a little video on some trucks, bits and bobs. Like I say, especially if you're new to our gauge and you've not seen some of these things before, I'm sure if you go around the show you'll soon see some stuff. So, thanks for watching. Any comments or points of interest, please get far away. And we'll go and put the kettle on. Oh, Mr. Jake. Thanks a lot.